Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is our 14th lecture of Mechanics 2. Here we will discuss the rolling motion of a rigid object. For this purpose, we consider a rigid object which is in the form of a cylinder. Here we can see a cylindrical object, and here lies the center of mass of this rigid object, and the distance of this center of mass from its particles on the surface r. And if this cylindrical object executes a rolling motion, and after time t it covers a distance s, then this s in the translational motion can be related with the displacement of the angular motion, which is theta, by a well-known relationship S equal to r theta. We consider a uniform cylinder of radius r, which is rolling without slipping on the horizontal surface. For the accuracy of measurements and to avoid any errors in the modeling of the motion, we are assuming that there is only rolling motion without any type of slipping along the horizontal surface. When the cylinder rotates through an angle theta, which is the angular displacement, its center of mass moves a linear distance s, which can be equated to r theta. Here r is the radius of the cylindrical object, or we can say this r is representing the distance of center of mass from the particle on the surface of the cylinder. The translational speed of the center of mass of the cylinder can be expressed by VCM. CM stands for center of mass, V stands for speed. So speed of center of mass of the cylindrical object can be found by taking the time derivative of linear distance s, and as we know that s is equal to r theta, so placing the value of s in this time derivative, we can write this derivative as r d theta over dt. Here r is constant, it is not a function of time, so it cannot be included in the time derivative. The only parameter out of these two parameters is theta, which depends on time, which is a function of time. So taking the time derivative of s, we consider d theta over dt only. This d theta over dt is a well-known entity in physics, which is equal to omega angular speed. So we say that this r d theta over dt becomes equal to r omega, and we say this is our equation number 1. As we have found VCM in this equation 1, we can also find out the acceleration, magnitude of acceleration by taking time derivative of this VCM. The acceleration of center of mass can have magnitude ACM equal to time derivative of VCM, and as VCM is equal to R omega. Again, R will be constant with respect to time, omega will be function of time. So uh, placing the value of VCM over here, we can write this derivative as R d omega over dt, and d omega over dt is another entity which is uh, alpha magnitude of angular acceleration. So d omega over dt is alpha and R will be written as it is. This marks our equation number 2. ACM becomes equal to R alpha. Now, when our cylindrical object is rolling on the horizontal surface and there is no involvement of the slipping in this motion, then if we place an observer which is observing the motion of this cylindrical object which is rolling along the horizontal surface, then we have to assume that the observer is also moving with the same translational speed as that of the uh, center of mass on the horizontal surface. When an observer moves along with the rolling object at same speed as that of its center of mass, then we say that observer and center of mass are stationary with respect to each other. So staying in a frame of reference at rest with respect to center of mass of the object, as both the uh, observer and the center of mass are having the same translational speed which is VCM. So uh, the center of mass can be considered to be at rest with respect to the observer, and we say that the observer will only observe the rotation of the cylindrical object around its center of mass. When the observer will be having a similar translational speed as that of center of mass of the rolling cylinder, then the only motion observable for the observer will be the rotation or rotational motion of the cylindrical object. There will be no translational motion being observed by the observer for this cylindrical object which is rolling along the horizontal surface. We say that uh, in conclusion, the motion of the rolling object can be modeled as combination of translational and rotational motion. If the supine motion is taken into account, then the kinetic energy of the supine object can be marked by an equivalent equation of k equal to half mv square in translational motion. Here in the supine motion or rotational motion, we will be having an equation of this type. Here ip has replaced m and omega has replaced v. So kinetic energy of this spinning object, rotational motion, due to rotational motion, the kinetic energy being possessed by the object will be half ip omega square. This is our equation number 3. This is the equation when the axis of rotation passes through the center of mass of the object. If the axis of rotation of the object does not pass through center of mass, it passes through another point, which is the pivot point of the object. So in this case, when the pivot point and center of mass uh, are not coinciding, they are two different points, then we apply the parallel axis theorem. In this case, the ip will become equal to icm plus mr square. Here r is the displacement between the pivot point and the center of mass of the rigid object, and m is total mass of the rigid object, and icm is representing the rotational inertia, rotational moment of inertia uh, when the this ICM is the rotational moment of inertia of the center of mass. This is the moment of inertia caused by rotation of the center of mass in the orbit, and this mr square is the moment of inertia due to spinning of the constituent elements of the rigid body about the center of mass. ip will become equal to this. Now equation 3 can be written as k equal to half icm omega square plus half mr square omega square. By placing the values of omega and r omega in this equation, omega will become equal to vcm over r, and r omega will become equal to vcm. So this equation takes the new form as this one. K becomes equal to half into ICM over R square plus M. Here VCM square will become common. We mark this equation as equation number 4. Here equation number 4 is representing the kinetic energy of the uh, rotating object when the axis of rotation does not passes through uh, center of mass. When the axis of rotation is assumed to pass through the center of mass, then ip will become equal to ICM, and this second term will become equal to 0 since this r will become 0. This is the perpendicular distance between the pivot point and the center of mass, and the equation 4 will become modified accordingly. We say that equation 4 gives the total kinetic energy of the rolling object. Having reduced a proper equation for kinetic energy, we assume an object rolling down on this surface, and this object is having r as its radius. Its mass is represented by capital M, and it is rotating with angular speed omega. Vcm is its uh, translational speed for center of mass. This is angle theta, this is height h, and this is the ground level. We can find out the conservation of, we can confirm the conservation of mechanical energy of the rolling object by considering the law of conservation of mechanical energy. For a sphere rolling down an inclined plane, the mechanical energy of the system is conserved if no slipping is occurring. And we say that in this particular case, change in the kinetic energy plus change in the potential energy of the object will sum equal to 0. So this is the kinetic energy at the final moment when the object is reaching this point. As at this point, the translational speed of center of mass is 0. So this factor will be 0, and there will be no kinetic energy at this highest point. The kinetic energy at this point is expressed by this term. So final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy, which is 0. This gives the delta K. For delta U, we come at this final point. Final potential energy is 0 as there is uh, no height when the object is uh, touching the ground level. So H will be 0, and at this point the height is maximum. The potential energy will be mgh. So 0 is final potential energy, mgh is initial potential energy, and 0 minus mgh is delta U. This becomes equal to 0. By rearranging this equation, we can write VCM equal to 2gh over 1 plus ICM over mr square whole raised to power 2, and this is our equation number 5. Equation 5 gives the velocity of center of mass of the rolling object. In equation 4, we have found the kinetic energy of the rolling object, and in equation 5, we have found the velocity of the center of mass of the rolling object. Thank you. That's all.